So I haven't been using the Ronin 4D since I got it. I probably used it on one shoot so far, and I've had it for a couple of months. Now, initially it was because I just found it a little bulky. And when I like to shoot, I like to have the smallest setup that I can. It helps me move around a lot. It helps me pack my camera bag a lot easier. But I took it on a shoot recently and I just remembered how amazing this thing is. And I know somebody in my comments spoke about wanting to talk about this more and the Lidar system, so I'm gonna do that. So like I said, I recently took it to a video shoot where I was doing behind the scenes for a TV show called American Dream TV. It's a show where realtors just get to show the expertise in the city that they're in. And while I was there, I had some other videographers who saw this for the first time, and they had the same reaction that I had, which was it's an amazing system. It comes with so much, and it's just unpack and go, right? Now, I really like the Lidar system because it is super fast. I have never seen autofocus system so quick, and the fact that it can lock onto a subject and the gimbal will actually move and follow that person changes the way that I walk around to maneuver myself. Because like I said, I do go to shoots by myself for the most part. Events mostly, when I'm walking around, I'm always tiptoeing with the gimbal, watching my feet so that I don't trip on somebody's purse or bag or feet. And when I can lock on to a subject, I can actually look at the ground while I'm holding it, and the camera will lock onto the person that I was already focused on. So it kind of saves me from tripping, falling, and just, you know, embarrassing myself at an event. But that alone was such a useful tool for me to know that no matter where I'm walking, it will always be locked onto the subject. Another really useful tool on this is the Lidar waveform, which I can actually see what I'm focusing on if I choose to switch to the manual mode. And you'll use this dial here to just move it back and forth, and as you see the waveform, trying to find and lock on to your subject. Now, there are two ways. If you have it on autofocus, you will feel a little give on the dial, and because it's on autofocus, every time you move it, it'll go back down to the initial locked on person or thing, which I thought was amazing, because if you accidentally bump it or move it, it'll just switch back. But if you need to focus on something else, you can just hold it for a second, and then as you let it go, it'll go back to the autofocus subject. And obviously, if you want to switch it to manual mode, there will be no give. It'll be super smooth, and you can just control that focus if you choose to. And I don't know why I wasn't using this thing. In my head, I remember using it. It was just feeling like the learning curve was too steep. It had a lot of buttons that I just didn't want to learn at the time. And I remember it being heavier than it is. But when I took it out, it changed my perspective using it the second time. And I'm hoping I figure out some new things about it the third time. But I think I will continue to use this on more shoots just to learn it and figure out what I can really get out of it. Now, because also I do a lot of vertical content for the realtors that I shoot, this isn't something that I would primarily pick up for vertical content. There isn't like a vertical mode where the gimbal will turn sideways or anything like that. If I actually had to, I would have to hold it sideways. And man, God forbid, I really am over vertical. But anyway, there is no vertical format. So like I mentioned, I'm not going to really pick this up if I have to shoot those type of things. That's probably why I haven't really been using it, to be honest, for that, because I shoot a lot of vertical content. But moving over to longer form content or commercials or videos for the clients that I work with, the realtors, it is amazing. And I can't wait to take this thing to a wedding because it is so smooth, just the movement. And I hope that they have like a mist filter for this in the future, because that look for a wedding on this thing is going to be trouble. I can already see the looks that I have. I love shooting in the D-Log color format, and the fact that it comes with internal NDs. I feel like nobody speaks about that, but it comes with internal NDs, so I don't need anything after a mist filter at all. Now, for the manual lenses capabilities, I haven't actually taken a look at that yet. I did get this X9 E-mount unit so that I can put on my Sony E-mount lenses. On top of this, I'll just need to buy a counterweight for the back so that I can actually balance my lenses. But I did want to see how the system will lock on to subjects using my lenses, because DJI doesn't have an extensive lens catalog yet. I think they just have the 17-28, which I have here, and the 50, and I have the 24mm somewhere around here. If I had any notes, it would be just to have more lenses. I would love to have a 24-70 on this thing, or even a 24-105, especially because the lens zooms in internally. I don't have to rebalance anything or anything like that. It was actually why I haven't been using my Sony native lenses, is because I like to use a 16-35 and a 24-70, and moving the zoom in and out, I can already see it would be a problem. But overall, I'm really loving this purchase. I'm really loving this camera. And I am excited to see what else I can do, as well as I want to try to take this Lidar system off and put it on my Ronin RS3 to see if it will work the same way connected to that, instead of buying a whole new Lidar system. I was just curious if I could do that or not. So that might be my next video. And of course, if you're new to the page, my name is Simeon, and I love helping new creators find direction. So if you're new to photography, videography, and you just have any questions about lighting, microphones, cameras, all that, feel free to ask, and I will make a video on it to answer your question. I will see you guys in the next one.